Hi everyone, welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings, Snow Presents. And today is New Year's Day, so January 1st, and this is also the last episode for this visual novel. So yesterday, there was a somewhat moderate celebration between Kotori and Aoi and Hat for New Year's Day. So right at the start of New Year's Day, they would jump up. So they jump up from last year and land in the next year. And Kotori was able to jump up successfully, though she did need some help from Aoi when she landed. And for dinner that night, they had soba. It's like, well, soba kind of symbolizes New Year's, so we get rid of all of our negative events, negative thoughts, put it in last year, and then next year we have a fresh new start. And I wonder if they did go to the temple to offer the prayers, like we've seen in A Sky Full of Stars and LoveKami. Well, let's find out. So it's still New Year's in If My Heart Had Wings still presents. Okay, so New Year's Day. So it's the early morning and New Year's has just begun, and so Kotori and I are on a train leaving for Tokyo. So if you remember from the last episode or yesterday, Kotori's like, well, on New Year's Day, I want to go back to and see my family in Tokyo, and I want you to come with me because you're kind of like a family member as well. And here we are. So, you're looking forward to this, aren't you? Yeah, and plus, I called them, or I was on the phone with them many times, and they're really excited to see me come home. So, Kotori hasn't returned home for quite a while, so today is going to be really exciting for the family. So, for many reasons, of course Kotori still isn't happy with the family doting on her. But then again, for today, New Year's, Kotori, they have a good reason why they want Kotori back. It's like, well, just for this special holiday, so let's celebrate it together. And then once the holidays are over, when it's time for you to go back to Keifu Academy, then we'll let you go. So I wonder if it is good too. And I think he's holding hands with Kotori. So I think Kotori's worried I always worry well, I wonder if I'm going to be accepted or welcomed by your family. And Kotori's like, well, it'll be alright. And plus, they're also interested in seeing you. And my mother was very happy when I talked about you over the phone. Well, I guess. So, it is also the first time for me to stay somewhere else or go somewhere else on New Year's Day. So I'm quite nervous. And more importantly, the destination is my lover's parents' home. And I wonder if they're going to be talking about, oh, I can't wait to see you two get married. I can't wait to see what your family is like. I can't wait to see my grandkids. And that's going to be very embarrassing for both of them. Well, no, I don't think there'll be anything like that. So I wonder, why didn't they pick us up in the car? So the dad driving over, like we've seen in Kotori's route in If I Heart Had Wings. Well, that's going to be a spoiler, so I'm not going to say too much about that. So, on other days, so when you go home for some events, the father and Hibari comes to pick you up. Well, I think it makes more sense, or feels better for us to ride the train. So we go to Tokyo and then they pick us up from the station. And plus, looking at the scenery moving fast, it also gives a pretty pleasant feeling. So Kotori says that while looking at the scenery out the train car window. There you go. And I always wanted to experience this kind of moment with you, Aoi. So it takes 3 hours to travel by train from Kazegurura to Tokyo. And they used a ordinary train, so it's not one that goes really fast like the high-speed rail. And I'm sure, let's see. It feels a little unsatisfactory to feel the feeling of travel, but for us students, this may be right. By the way, so what happened to Hat? So we gave Hat to some veterinarian babysitter before we left, so someone else is taking care of Hat. I'm not sure what that kind of place is called. I'll have to go look it up. And it seems that Hat is able to understand, so well, it's better to have Hat in someone else's care because there isn't going to be much food out in the open at the Flying Fish Manor. So traveling with Kotori is certainly not bad. And it's fun to do something new with Kotori. So the train on New Year's Day is empty, and it gives some sense of excitement. And I'm surprised that they're running a train service on New Year's Day because even the operators want to celebrate it as well, and usually all services are stopped. So Hibari-san will pick us up at the station. And it takes about 20 minutes to go from the station to our house. And that's the start of our New Year's visit. Kotori says happily. Okay, so they'll go to a shrine that's near Kotori's house, and that's where they'll offer the prayers. And it's like, well, there are some other places that I want to go see as well. So Amazake shop, and so it's really delicious there. So Amazake, so a sweet drink. Let's see what it is. So I did drink that in the past as a child, but it's been quite a while. But what about so furisode? Or no, furisode. Is it okay to drink that? It's okay. So I won't spill it. So I say, but like being natural, they seem to forget about the carelessness. Well, I'll have to prepare as soon as I get back. So I'm wearing it. Oh, so I'm going to be dressed in a kimono for the shrine prayers. Okay. And my mother's making one for me. So I thought when I met her once, but Kotori's mother is a pretty good family mom. And the father is a So I wonder, why did the child of these parents grow up to be such an innocent child? So wait, what are you thinking about? No, nothing much. Well, I'm just wondering what Kotori's gonna look like in a furisode. So probably Hikaru in a kimono. Well, it'll be really good. It'll be the best. And Kotori wants to keep it a surprise for Aoi. Okay, I'm sure. So, it looks like we might have arrived in Tokyo early. Or I wonder if I can get to Tokyo soon. So I really want to see the surprise. And while imagining what Kotori looks like in a furisode, I enjoyed the journey of a train which had ran for a long time. Okay, so we're back on the calendar, and that event actually served as the credits for this title. So as I was playing along, you can see the credits scrolling on the upper left of the screen. So now we come to the epilogue, and let's see how Snow Presents ends. So okay, so looks like this is where they go to the temple, and we get to see what Kotori looks like being in a furisode or kimono. And I think she's a little bit shy about it. So they have Aoi close his eyes. Okay, so they're offering prayers right now. And though there's never a whole intention, well, I'm serious at the same time. Okay, I got plenty of money, and I'm sure this will be really good. So give a really good offering. Okay, so this is what Kotori looks like in a kimono. So like, okay. And she's next to Aoi, and then he's wondering, oh, so what kind of prayers did you make? Well, that's a secret, because if I did tell you, then it would have been, or it would have lost its magic. And something that you can't achieve, or you can't do, right? Well, is that so? Says Aoi. Kotori walks to the shrine with the help of a cane. Okay, let's see. So Kotori's walking along with the cane, and it has attracted the attention of the other first-time visitors. And she does look cute if you want to look at it from another angle. But today, it's special. And Aoi has no comments. So what's wrong, Aoi? Well, I think you look really good in this kimono, or the furisode. It's a long sleeve kimono. Well, how many times do you have to say this? Well, as many times as I feel like it, because you look good. Well, I guess because I'm a beautiful person, isn't it? So Kotori laughs boastfully. So we arrived in Tokyo and went to the parents' house. So Hibari took us there, and the greens are done, and now Kotori's changed into a furisode. And then Kotori went to a hairdresser who fixed Kotori's hair, and now us two are going to the shrine as a couple. So I'm sure. So yeah, for a lady, it takes time for them to prepare. So, well, while I was waiting, to be honest, I had to wait with Kotori's father. And I wonder if he's still not happy with what Aoi did to Kotori back in the original title in Kotori's Route. And just being together, it kind of felt awkward. And so when Kotori came out from the hairdressing room, so all those worries went away. And the form of Kotori, so she was wearing a furisode, so a long sleeve kimono, and I feel that it was really worth the trip to Tokyo just to see Kotori wear this. And he comments about, well, it's beautiful whether you say it or not, because that's the fact. Well, thanks. Well, now that the New Year's Day is coming to an end, it's about time for a beautiful girl. So wait, you say anything? Well, I can't really say anything else. And there probably seems to be no intention dropped off for a while longer for a beautiful girl's sign. Okay, so now that we've finished our prayers, it's time to have that Amazake drink. So, it's gonna taste good. So Kotori pulls my hand. And so this was the face that I was looking for during the visit. Well, if I don't hurry... Oh, it's like, well, you don't have to rush because that drink is not going anywhere. So it doesn't matter if we have it now or later. But you know, I really want you to taste it as soon as possible. So Kotori pulls my hand, or tugs my hand, and she starts to run. Well, if a target is decided really, so she's a straight child. So if there is a goal in mind, she's going to do everything she can to fulfill it quickly. And even if I waver in the way, if light is seen, I run through the most short distance there. So basically, do everything I can to achieve it in a timely manner. So the way that Kotori was trying to drag, I was like, hurry up, let's go eat or drink Amazake drink. It's kind of like the same when Kotori was really aiming to go to the morning glory, which was what the original title was about. So after that, I really wonder, what do you want to do this year? So any ideas? So I asked such a question while being pulled or dragged by Kotori. So he asks, I'm sure there's something that Kotori asked for. Well, it's just day one, so I can't imagine what it's going to be like, or... But the sad thing is that this year, we're going to be retiring from the soaring club soon. That makes sense. So they'll be 5th years, and that's usually when people retire from clubs. And that kind of makes Kotori feel a little upset. And it's not the response that I was looking for. So I also like to think that it is a sad memory for Kotori. It's like, well, she doesn't want to think about the day when we have to part ways from the soaring club and have the junior members take over. But I know it's going to be a really upsetting moment and it's not going to go well for us. And I wonder what Ageha thinks about it, given that she'll have to retire too. So if I say so, when So I think we can just forget about it until that day happens. And before that, I'm sure we're going to have some rough waters to face. Well, gradually, it is not gentle. Well, I don't know what it is, but I should have that surely. And it kind of is like our retirement, in a sense. So, I seem great for some reason. Or she probably says that. So it's going to be something that we're going to have to put into our memories. And it's a good one to remember. So I'm smiling to hear that unconsciously. Yeah, this is fun, Shirley. Well, it is like a retirement, in a sense. And when I heard that, when I said it back to Kotori, she also laughed a little. But it is true though, so it does seem like a retirement for us. So things won't go smoothly as expected. But it is fascinating in another sense. But first, let's hurry up and go drink that Amazake. Okay. So I wish I could live a student life without regrets with Kotori. Well, they are, but it's going to end soon. And I'm sure it's going to be so fun that 1 year is going to pass by without noticing. But I hope this year will be enjoyable again. And that was what I wished for. Okay, so it's probably been a few days since New Year's, and now they're back at the Flying Fish Manor, and it's like, well, tomorrow school will resume, and the winter holidays are over. And Hat's back. So, okay, so it looks like Kotori and Aoi gave Hat to Ageha and had them, or the Himegis, take care of the duck. So were you a good duck with the Himegis? Yes, says Hat. Really? So were you a good duck? I'm gonna ask Ageha and see what she says. So did you go and cause so much chaos for Ageha, Hotaru, and the rest of the family? Oh yeah, so I gotta do something else. So what is it? Okay, so looking at Kotori's to-do list, every item is fulfilled. So the last item, I want to visit the shrine with Aoi, and that's done. Hey, look, I did it! So everything's done. So, all complete. Nice!
本当に冬休み中にみんなできちゃった。
So, just these short winter holidays, I was able to do something great. So it's kind of like a winter vacation for me. But
このノートどうしよう。また次のやりたいことを書いてってもいいけど。
so now that this list is done, maybe it's time for me to come up with a new list of things to do.
そうだわ。
Right.
もっともっといっぱい書いて全部クリアして。
So I'll write more items on the next to-do list and clear them all and do them all.
やりたいことの他にも楽しかったこととか嬉しかったこととか悲しい出来事も何気ない日のちょっとした出来事もノートいっぱいになるまで書き溜めて。
So I'm sure there are many things that I still want to do, little, big or little, long or short, and I'm going to write it all down, and I'll keep writing it until I run out of pages in this notebook. Nice.
それでね、卒業するときこの部屋に残していくの。
And
いいと思わない？
so once I graduate, I'll probably put this or leave this in this dorm room. Kind of like what Isuka did with the flight log before. And I'll let future dorm boarders see my to-do list. Okay?
そうよ。次のあんたの同居人がこれを見つけて私のことを知ってくれるかもしれない。
So yeah, I wonder who's going to pick it up and who's going to see it down the road.
もしかしたら友達になってくれるかも。
And I wonder if that person will be my new friend.
そうなったら素敵ね。
And if that's the case, it'll be nice.
どんな子なんだろう。次にこの部屋に入る子は空に憧れてる女の子だったらいいな。
So I wonder what this person is going to be like, says Kotori.
それまでこのノートに私の夢をいっぱい詰め込んでおこっと。
So my dreams are packed in this little notebook.
あとこのことは葵にもアゲハにも朝たちにも秘密だからね。わかった？
But for now, make sure you keep this notebook from everyone. So keep it secret from everyone, including Aoi, Yoru, Asa, and Ageha. Understand? Yes.
まずは自己紹介も兼ねて私の激動の半生について。
Okay, so first of all, I need to write about my turbulent half-life. And that goes to Flight Diary. Okay.
この大空に翼を広げて。
Okay. So this marks the end of this visual novel. So Flight Diary is actually a fan disc for If My Heart Had Wings, and I don't have any plans to play that yet because I want to take a break from all these pull top titles, given that I just completed all the character roots for the original If My Heart Had Wings, and I'm still working on the character roots for Sky Full of Stars. So it was a pretty lovely ending where Kotori's like, well, I'm going to be just like what Isuka did in the past. I'm going to write something, have a notebook, and then stick it, and the next person is going to pick it up and read about me and maybe associate their life with me. Kind of like what Kotori did with Isuka's flight log about the Soaring Club, the glider, and Morning Glory. So the reason I like this title is because I like that one-on-one moment between Aoi and Kotori, and you can also say that this is kind of like an extension from Kotori's route at the end of her route in the original visual novel. So if you remember, at the very end, Kotori got surgery and she was able to move from a wheelchair to walking on canes. And we don't get to see this kind of special treatment for the other characters. Well, then again, their roots were not, or didn't really have much for them to write about after the end. But then again, the original title, Kotori had a pretty big role in it, starting from the very beginning when Aoi first saw Kotori in a wheelchair calling for help. And what also makes this title interesting is that we have animation, which is rarely seen in visual novels. So we get to see the rooms in the Flying Fish Manor from a different angle, and having Kotori animated really puts motion and life into the story. So there is another title like this for A Sky Full of Stars, Interstellar Focus, but that one feels more like a traditional visual novel. So you get 2D images of characters, still images, but what makes that title special is that that one has like a quiz section where they make this activity book and you get to play along pretending to be like a new member for the Six Stars Club. And that one is not a one-on-one visual novel like this one is. So speaking of A Sky Full of Stars, now that this title is over and the holidays are over, I will resume the character routes for A Sky Full of Stars. So I will continue through until all the character routes are complete. And for my 7th set of Let's Play videos, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, so I will decide along the way. But anyways, with that in mind, I'll see you in a future novel on a future playthrough.